Hey, we're the Print Girl Mafia. Cheers from ISS Atlantic City. Okay, first I want to thank everyone for tuning in. There's some people who are here with us today. As a quick reminder, Print Girl Mafia was created as a support networking opportunity for girls in the industry. We have a Facebook group that is females only. Sits a little over 300 people. I think it's like 330. Yep. Our Instagram is between 1,000 and 2,000. I don't know. Somewhere between there.
1450.
All right, there you go. Someone checks. I don't know. But most importantly, we're trying to provide a safe and supportive place for women in the industry to go to ask questions. So if you are not already in the group, join the group. As long as you're a woman, or follow Facebook for more information. We always have things at industry events, and we show our faces everywhere. Nikki, you want to tell them about the previous two? This will be our third one. So.
Yeah, so this is going to be episode number 3. We've got the other 2 uploaded onto YouTube right now. If you haven't checked them out yet, go check them out. They were amazing.
They were.
You can find that in a link on our Instagram as well if you can't find us at PGM on YouTube.
Okay, let's start with a quick introduction. Let's start with this lovely lady next to me. She can go first.
Hey.
Am I just saying who I am and what I do? Hi.
Say, hi, I'm Alyson. I'm a badass.
I mean, I wouldn't say that. My name is Alyson. I'm the production manager at Parkway Print Shop in Williamsburg, Virginia.
Ooh. I'm Christina Haines. I work for Varsity.
That's Greensboro
in Florida. I, along with Nikki, are technically the owners of Print Girl Mafia. And pretty recently, I started as the booking person for a shirt show. So if you if you want to be on the shirt show, or you know someone who should be on the shirt show,
this is your
holler.
human.
Yeah, let me know.
Call me at 1-800-SHIRT-SHOW.
Oh,
shirt show official.
There you go.
1-900 shirt show. We got to do
Well,
this.
that's a
now.
naughty number.
Yeah.
I'm not naughty. Absolutely not. So it's 1-800.
I mean, screen printing OnlyFans. Shh. And say it. I'm Nikki with Cotton Street Apparel, one of the co-owners there, and also one of the owners of Print Girl Mafia.
Okay, we're going to do our sponsors before we introduce our guests to you.
Yeah, sounds about right.
So, quick shout out and thank you to Easiway and Bluewater. They've supported us from the get-go. If you have trouble cleaning screens and you need it to be easier, it's the easiest way.
The easiest way.
Also, Howard Transfers, who are our guests today. Woo. They are lending us a super rad space to record today, making sure our guests feel right at home. You want to talk about Golden Boys?
Golden Boys, if you need any podcast advice or help, or you just want to pay someone to help teach you how to record things in your shop better for
do
Instagram,
editing for you,
editing, they offer this service. Tattooing, I'm getting tattooed in Indy. I've already told him, I'm like, dude, book me in.
Corey,
We're getting tattoos in Indy?
Should we all get tattoos?
We're getting tattoos in Indy.
All right,
Corey,
Done.
you guys hear it now,
Start
Golden
working on
Boys.
something.
We're getting tattooed. Go ahead and book that day out.
Yes.
Okay, letting you know.
any photography or
Yes.
editing or videoing, they're gods at it. So,
Yep.
Okay,
Cool. All right.
that's about it for right now.
So, cheers again.
Yeah. So our guests today are Candy and Jody from Howard Transfers. We're going to let them introduce themselves. Jody.
I'm Jody Mazade. I am the sales and marketing director at Howard Custom Transfers. Been with the company for 16 years. Long time. And
Has the
this is Candy.
sickest eyebrows I've ever seen.
Oh my God,
Beautiful.
Thank you. That's the best compliment of my life.
They're a work of art.
Yeah, eyebrow goals.
Eyebrow goals, I love.
We all have to be good at something.
It's true. Well, I'm Candy Padilla. I am a strategic account specialist, SAS for short. I've been with the company about 5 years now. So basically just help everyone build their brand, their company, and just get them introduced to how to work with Howard.
Also very good eyebrows.
Yes. It's like the Howard. I think if you work for Howard, you just have to have
They're
good
actually
eyebrows.
transfers.
Yeah, no, that is a requirement.
I was going to say, she has
eyebrow
probably the
transfers.
best.
Eyebrow transfers are a part of the Howard.
Yeah,
They're
no, it's
transfers.
like,
Oh, you guys are. Oh, that's
do you know how to
good.
use a computer and how are your eyebrows?
Yeah. If not, we made some transfers.
You screen print them on.
Yeah.
Tiny
They're-
screens.
How do
They're
you
screen print.
know? Yeah. And this is a faux stitching type of, with transfer.
It burns a little when you
Definitely
heat
the
press.
puff. You know it's got it.
When you heat
It's
press, it
back
burns a
there.
little, but it's totally worth it.
Yep.
All right. So thank you guys for being guests for us and for providing us with the space to do this. I want to know about the background of Howard. Like, where did Howard come from? How did you get in this industry, and how long have you been around?
Jody can take it.
Yeah, so Howard, we've been around for 21 years. Started
Legal drinking age, Howard.
I know, right?
Cheers to Howard.
Cheers
Being
to
legal.
So, like any good screen printing company, we started in a garage, one-car garage. Super humble beginnings. Jeff and Jim were best buds, and I don't know. They just, like anything, it started out of necessity. I think they just needed a solution for printing their softball jerseys. I think.
Yeah, we were talking about that last night. How a lot of like everybody in the industry has ended up in the industry out of necessity, out of need. Like they needed something. They needed band merch.
Yeah.
They needed fraternity sorority stuff. And then that's how
You needed
I
women
like
to
that.
come together, and PGM started.
Exactly.
They were literally like exposing screens at the car wash and
Yes.
curing things in the oven.
Yes.
And I think we're in Chicago, so the weather got really crappy, and they were like, okay, well, we need probably to get into a real facility, and they did, and then they started hiring family and friends and whoever they could, and it just grew and grew and grew and grew and grew, and we're here.
We're here.
And there's a screen printing company.
Well, we still are a screen printing company.
Well, yeah, but you started out as like, I don't know, I guess a regular like direct to.
No, it was never direct to garment.
Oh.
It was always a transfer company.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
why do you know why that was instead of
Yeah.
direct to garment?
Jim, who was he's now deceased, but I believe his father. Yeah, R.I.P. Jim. We love him.
Rest in peace.
His father owned a plastics company, so it was the easy solution. He just I don't know. I believe he had industry connections somehow that. I don't want to get the story wrong. Sorry, Jim. I'm sorry, Jim. I believe
Nobody's fact checking.
there was some kind of background in the transfer world for Jim.
He will be haunting her later.
Don't do it.
Jim was awesome.
Don't do it,
Hey,
Jim.
I really want to edit this later with like where it's like a chunk where it's like stopped and it's you in your office and you're like, actually, Jim, and then it like chunks back to like,
Let's do it.
Yes. Yes.
or like a weird voiceover.
we
like
are the current Girl
like
Mafia.
the karate voiceover.
We are the current Girl Mafia,
Yes,
so
you
we
are.
can do what we want. I mean, that's kind of what we do these days. We do what we want.
Sorry about the extra
right.
editing.
All right,
Jim.
cool.
I love you.
So, anything else that you want to tell us about Howard, humble beginnings? Like, we've all been there. We all started small.
No, I just think we're, family owned and operated, which is awesome, and culture is huge for us. Just company culture is our thing. We keep it real. I don't know, is that
Okay.
it's lame, but
Sounds
it's
very
true.
cool.
I mean, you guys know us pretty well. We're,
I mean,
cool.
we do have some fun together.
we have a little bit of fun.
We won't talk about that
Sometimes.
fun. It's off the record.
We signed
but
non-disclosures.
We do have a little fun.
Okay, but the on the record fun is there's a basketball hoop in this fucking booth, and that's certified real fun.
Maybe that should be the end of the
Exactly.
podcast. Is
Us shooting it. Just
yeah,
shoot
like a
out.
3-point contest.
A little around the world.
How about if we make a shot, PGM can have discount code for like a week.
Ooh, that is a Jody approved message.
yeah. This one right here approves your discounts. So
This one here does.
don't flood her inbox. She won't answer.
Dead.
Cool.
Just come to Candy.
Come to Candy.
Come to Candy.
Hit Candy up.
Yep.
Leave Jody alone. She's busy.
That's Jody with an I, Jodi at howardct.com.
JODEE.
All right. So
IE.
I have a question for you guys. Like, has there been? I hate to talk about COVID. I'm over it. I'm done with it. But throughout COVID, was there an uptick in transfers, and is it continuing on?
Hugely, there was an uptick in transfer work, and I would say it did kind of even out a bit. We saw there was an ebb and flow to it. So I think some of those companies found their footing. They leaned on us heavily in the beginning, and then they found out that, like, okay, there is a space for transfers in my business, and I maybe don't need them as heavily now that I found my footing and things are normal. But they
could be back in their shops printing.
Yes.
So it's something they, like, you can heat press at home a transfer on some shirts if you're not allowed to leave your home.
Yeah.
Or you can't. But if they're back in their shop, then they might not need the transfers as much.
Not as much, but they said, "Oh, well, there is a space for it."
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
It does fit in my model somehow. You know what I mean?
So, spinning off of that a little bit, something I heard from Printavo yesterday is that they can go in and kind of globally check the overall sales from every single shop, and they do that from time to time. I assume they do it all the time, but the conversation we were having is that when they went in and checked February sales, everybody was down from last year in February. Did you guys see the exact same trend?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I think everyone here would probably agree that
Yes.
that industry-wide, and I don't think it's just our industry. I mean,
Correct.
I think that the
cost
past 2 or 3 years, there was an influx of government money to businesses, and it had to be spent on certain things, and uniforms were one of them. And some of that obviously is dissipated. So
Is there anything that you guys are doing to try and combat that as a business? Like, is there anything you can do? Is there anything you're going to do to try and, like...
I noticed that you guys seem to be pushing your one-day printing a little more again. Is it giving you an opportunity to get that stuff lined up?
we definitely became a little bit more aggressive, right? We hired a little bit more, I shouldn't say we hired, we transitioned some of our staff. So like Candy was in customer service and we moved her to strategic sales.
Which is so smart.
So we transitioned people
So
into
good at it.
just more strategic roles.
Yeah. Slowing my head up. Keep doing it. Keep coming. I'm just kidding.
I'll pepper it in. I'm going to pepper it
Jody
in.
thing.
The hair flip is a Jody
It is a
thing,
Jody
but
thing,
I mean,
yeah.
you can borrow it.
It's
No, mine's
contagious.
just like a. Yeah.
So we're going to call it doing a Jody.
yeah.
Doing a Jody.
We'll do the Jody. Yeah.
But yeah. So strategic moves like that, we did get a little bit more aggressive. Last year was our first year of a full-scale trade show,
Which is where we met all of you guys.
Yeah.
And we fell in love with you
Yeah,
guys.
It is here, baby.
It was Atlantic City. Is where we
This
met.
is our 1 year anniversary.
It's 1 year Annie.
Cheers.
Oh,
Cheers.
cheers. Cheers to 1
Cheers
year
again.
Annie.
Cheers to 1 year.
Yes.
All right. Wait, I got to give you guys like full disclosure.
Okay.
So once I transitioned over to this role, I talked to Jody and I was like, Jody, I ran into this all women like amazing group. Like they look like badasses. Like this is my kind of people. Like if I go to a trade show, like I'm gonna meet these girls. Like I need to like I low key kind of stalked you guys.
Oh, not low key. It was not low key.
Well, low key because I was going to Jody's office and I was like,
We're always taking stalkers.
Listen.
Female only.
Oh, yeah. Female only stalkers. Sorry.
Okay, perfect.
Stalkers with gifts.
Here. No, I encourage. Here's the thing. Do you guys remember you guys did the shop talk, right?
Yeah.
Was it shop talk,
Uh-huh.
right? And then I walked in. I was just like, thank you. Like I didn't have a question for you. I mean, I always have questions.
Yeah.
But I was really just wanting to thank you guys because, like we were just saying, out of necessity, right? Like how many times do we all hear women going to a booth or going to a shop or, and being either belittled, overlooked, underappreciated, all of the things that we hear all the time and that we have experienced. And then you guys came together and like you're giving a platform to have that conversation openly, freely, judgmental, free zone kind of thing. And I just really wanted to thank you guys for like creating that space. And that was my only comment. I ran back and I was like, oh my God, Jody was great. And then later that night, then, you know, we were introduced and I was just like, this is awesome. But just even if we had never met and never become friends and any of that, like, I mean, I'm always going to be rooting for you guys. I always said if whatever happens in the future, if I'm not in this industry anymore, like, I'm going to be sending people your way. Like, I'm going to be promoting you. Because it's so...
You're not allowed to leave this industry.
Yeah, you're not allowed to leave.
Okay.
You're married to
right.
this industry.
We're blood sisters now.
Once you're in, you have to be beaten out.
I mean...
And I don't want to do that. So...
Yeah.
All right. Okay, I'm stuck. I'm happily stuck. No, but seriously, I'm surprised that this something like didn't get created before, you know? And it took you guys to like stand up and say, fuck it, I'm going to just do it because... it has to be done, and who better than for it to be you guys, you know?
So
I can't wait to see what
a part
happens
of that
with you
is
guys.
that I'm just a social butterfly, and like I'm a helper by nature.
What was the spark for you? Like, what was it? What was that final that sparked joint? Like,
So I went. My first trade show was Fort Worth like a year and a half ago, and I hung out with all dudes. It was literally all dudes like that, and I was like, "Why are there like not that I like that's normal like it's fine like that's normally what I did, but like there has to be women." And then I found some. Honestly, it was Shirt Show. Like I would watch an episode, and I would always, if I had questions, I would reach out to the people on Instagram and ask them. Like I started chatting with Alyson and Nikki before, was Instagram. So like that's the only way I could get in touch with the girl, like any girls. So. We met in person at Print Hustlers. All of us were there, happened to be. So from there, someone would text me a question or ask something. Someone called me a conduit like a month ago.
Efficiency.
Yeah, efficiency is literally my favorite thing. Like if lean manufacturing was a human, it would be me. Even if it doesn't make sense to anyone else, I'm like, no, look. And they're like, okay, but I also have 2 small children and was working full-time in the shop. So someone would text me and be like, yeah, hold on, I know someone, let me text them and find out. So then I would text and I'm like, you know what? Can I just put everyone together? Like this is...
Cut out the middleman.
It's like you were a contractor.
Yeah,
It's like
I was a problem-solving contractor.
It's like
you had a problem to solve.
It's like you owned one of the promo sites.
If you had been smart, you would have charged us all $5.
You keep saying that. If you want to pay me $5 a month, you can.
I mean, I can give you $5. Do you need $5? I'll give it
I
for
don't,
you.
but she always says like I send a ton of like Instagram memes like
They're all extremely curated.
or reels, and I like know people's interests and what they like, and I like send them anytime a reel comes up. Allison's like, this is the most curated like stream of things. Like,
I agree.
Of reels or memes.
I agree. Like your
I know, since
like
you.
IG messages to me, I'm just like,
I just love people and
They're
care
the
about
best.
people, and I started that group chat, and then we went to ISS Long Beach
We were a girl gang.
with our jackets. I brought my jackets.
So you guys can purchase on their website.
Look at you.
Actually,
Look at you.
someone just posted it this morning. It's
They
right
did.
now in the
Somebody
story.
bought it.
Hey,
CJ from Legacy
okay.
Screen Printing got it as a
Yeah.
gift from her husband, actually.
That's a good husband.
love
I know.
that.
Dan's a great guy.
So, like, once we were walking around, we were all together at the Women of Screen Print Awards. We just realized, like, enough women were coming up to us and asking, and so we decided we launched the Facebook group.
Yeah.
And it quickly, like, climbed up, and it's going up every day. Honestly, I actually just got one of the girls who's an OG is Alyson, and she's at Custom Crewwear in Florida. The other Fort, I'm in Fort Pierce, she's in Fort Myers. She texted me, the other Fort, and said, hey, Leslie from Sanmar's here, and she was trying to get me to join the Mafia. She's our rep from Sanmar, and I told her about it like last year, and she actually helped us get things donated. We try as much as we can get things donated wherever we go to trade shows, to like women and children's shelter, and she helped us get a sizable donation. So it's like 85 backpacks and 120 shirts or something donated. to
awesome.
women and children's, like battered women and children's shelter in Indianapolis outside last year. And it was end of July, so it was like right before the kids all went back to school, and they all had like brand new backpacks and like a new shirt to wear. So, but I love that she's like around the state of Florida, like pushing for Girl Mafia to an OG, which is the best part.
That's awesome.
Alison's like, hey, I want to join the Mafia. And I'm like, okay.
So I want to ask you guys this. There are a lot of screen printing shops that say, hell no to transfers.
Yeah.
So, and it is what it is. My shop is not one of those because we see the beauty and the value in it. But tell me how transfers can fit inside of screen printing shops right now. Like, what are some ways that, like, shops can benefit from taking certain jobs to a transfer?
So I just want to start by saying transfers are never going to replace screen printing, right?
It's just another tool in the belt.
It's supplementary.
That's what Dylan always says. It's just another tool.
It's some people call it a secret weapon.
I 100% agree.
No, honestly,
agree. Yeah.
like the one thing I was telling Jody when I was transitioned over to this role, I was just like, there's something here with screen printing companies. Like it's never gonna take away from the art of screen printing. I mean, we screen print. It's just on a transfer carrier, So our guys are still pushing ink through squeegee. It's still the same art form, slightly different.
So we have this motto that says we screen print so you don't have to, and some people get like offended by it. Well, I want to screen print.
Hey,
dude,
listen, sometimes
keep
people get
screen
offended
printing.
by anything.
We want you
It doesn't
to.
matter what it is.
That's not the meaning of the motto, though. The meaning is like we will screen print when you don't want to.
And I can tell you guys, I've been to their facility. They are physically screen printing the screen printed transfers.
Yeah.
And
Like we're pulling squeegees.
They are dialed in.
Well, not
and
you two, right?
They've got a production manager.
I'm not pulling a squeegee. I am not pulling a squeegee. I have, but I
They
am not.
have
I
a
have
production
requested.
manager who is a
I'm
true
like, I
print
want
nerd.
to.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, but
We have a
it's
ton of printers.
supplementary. Like I
Well,
was
you do,
mentioning.
but he is like, I mean, the fact that he was sitting down there, like showing Matt and I, like all the little small like details and nuances of how that press worked. Yeah. I was like, just what?
Exactly.
Something comes to mind. So sometimes when we get transfers, it's like a mix and match. So like we'll print the front left chest and the back of the shirt, but we'll get transfers for the sleeves.
Right.
Especially if it's like less than, like if it's a 24-piece order, just switch out all the pallets for sleeve pallets. And we have a small press. Like I can't imagine having a huge press and having to switch all the pallets out just for 24 sleeves. Whereas it's so much easier to just transfer the sleeves.
Right. And that's why I mentioned it's supplementary, right? It's just like an addition to what you're already doing. It's just a way to free up your auto so you don't have to run a single color neck label and take up all that production time. Like, no, you can still take an order for a multicolor full chest or whatever that option is, but then have your heat press someone that you don't have to train as much as you do on an auto or
For
a manual.
sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so you can have both your machines going, you're producing that much more, you're keeping your customers happy, and with the heat press, it's a low overhead, right? Easy to train. You really want to invest in an industrial strength heat press. It's going to pay for itself.
The margin for error is so big.
Exactly.
Like you have no, like, it's fine.
Exactly.
I don't know about you guys, but I personally love a heat pressed neck label over a screen printed neck label. I don't know why. It feels different. It flattens it out.
Sure.
It smooths it a little bit. Like
Show through the back of the garment.
it doesn't.
Exactly.
Good point.
That's what I thought you wanted me to do just then. It smells like a brand.
Wait, you know what?
No one's
Hey,
on that one.
we did not thank Shirt Show for letting us borrow 2 mics. So you just sniffed the Shirt Show's mic.
I'm like, I want to sniff it.
Did they have ISS? Draplin was there.
Can we tell, is this Andy's breath? Or is that Dilly's breath?
Those are ours, so that might be mine.
Yeah, that could be one of ours.
Yeah.
Maybe Nikki.
That's why it smells great.
So I know we're talking
Sorry,
about
guys.
screen print transfers, but what other kind of transfers do you guys have? Like I know that you have digital, right? So, but I know that we got the sample pack. They get on the website, right? If you guys want a sample pack, they're on the websites.
You guys got
Candy
an exclusive.
Candy
full
did send us.
sample
I was gonna say,
pack.
Candy
So,
sent us like a sick merch
Curated by Candy.
Stalkers with gifts.
Yeah.
Precisely.
Let me stock you. I'll give you
Candy,
great,
and I wish I
amazing
brought it with
presents.
me, but Candy sent us all a sample pack and sent us a tote bag.
The print, PGM,
Yeah.
print Girl Mafia on it. It was very.
Not
like,
only it's your exact colors.
Yeah.
she
Pantone
She matched Pantone
Pantone
match.
matched on black totes,
But-
which are normally
so one
insane
thing
to
in our
print on.
sample pack was puff. And I know that Dylan tried the puff too and was like, I'm never printing puff again.
Yep.
We haven't even offered it because we don't want to mess around with it with Florida and the humidity and all of that stuff.
Exactly.
That like now I'm gonna offer puff because I don't have to print it.
Exactly.
I'm order transfers.
Yep.
So outside of like screen printed products, so like plastisol based, water based, right? Because we offer both. Then we do have our digital transfers. So one thing that we're about to officially launch pretty soon is our Color Vibe DTF, right? By popular demand, we need a full color option that is fully digital with a great stretch. You know, you guys, DTF is just like in such high demand, we had to do it. Then we have our Color Vibe Hybrid. So that's digitally printed, and then the backing behind it is water based, and that is screen
cool.
printed.
Wow, that's
making
awesome.
it a hybrid. So outside of traditional plastisol or water based screen printed products, then we do have our digital stuff, and we also offer like print cut vinyl, but there's a niche for that, right? If you need a low temp,
Absolutely.
it's print at 245.
Yeah.
It's actually on our jerseys. I mean, it looks so sharp.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a super, super soft vinyl. Like, I had people literally feel,
Yeah.
and they're like, that's not vinyl. I'm like, it is. But
Honestly, I had to stop calling it vinyl in my shop because people have like a preconceived notion. They think of like
do.
that thing covering their grandma's couch or
yeah,
so I've just started calling it heat transfer material,
there you go.
which is ridiculous
There
to
you
say,
go.
but it's probably closed more sales than saying
Yeah.
vinyl has.
But you know what? You mentioned preconceived notions, right? Transfers.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone kind of recalls like the crappy transfers that just feel like shit. They don't last long, and sometimes people are still associating that.
Yeah.
And we're like, no, the transfer game has changed.
Yeah.
Coming to Howard and seeing the products, I'm just like, what? Feels this soft. You can apply it to this and to that. I mean, we apply our transfers onto nylon, you guys, onto fleece. I mean, like, that's a great thing about transfers. It's a wide variety of options that you have to supplement what you're doing at your screen printing shop.
I agree with you on that one. Like, we upped our minimums going into this year, but we did not want to alienate our lower quantity customers because at the end of the day, like, your lower quantity customers are still the people that get you your large quantity customers. So
Exactly.
I don't want to turn them away all of a sudden because it's not cost effective for us to print that order on press. So
Right.
we use a lot of transfers for that. But over the last 4 or 5 months of transitioning them, I feel like I've had to create a lot more samples to have in our showroom to really talk to them about that, because when you talk to your customers about transfers, that's the idea that they have, is like the old school, like layering vinyl on top of each other. They don't understand.
That inkjet that you bought at Walmart, you put on with an iron.
Iron on.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's like the vinyl nowadays will outlast the shirt. I mean, like it's good.
Vinyl might outlast the screen printing.
Yeah, so that's one thing we do, is we just try to educate them a little bit more and say, hey, you know what? It's not what it is. It's actually a little bit better. It might be better than screen printing. I did not say that out loud.
Hey, well, you don't have to.
Not always. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, like I always-
Sometimes.
Like
You don't have to worry about
mentioned, like, showing
curing
in the
it.
showroom, right?
Yeah.
Showing different options. I give people the idea. I don't tell them what to do. I just give them an idea of like in your showroom, in your front office, wherever people come into your space to pay something, pick something up. Show them a design on different substrates. Show them on t-shirt. Show it on joggers. Show it on leggings. Show it on a backpack. Show it on a craft paper bag. Show it on all the different materials that you can offer.
Or that, here's the trick though. Don't put anything in your showroom that you don't want to offer.
Agree.
Don't put anything on
Exactly.
your Instagram that you don't want to offer.
Exactly.
So put it on whatever you want, but don't do it because you think you have to. Just choose the things that you want to do and print. That's the only thing I can tell you. Don't do a 3D puff hat in your showroom if you don't want to do 3D puff hat embroidery for orders.
Just don't do a 3D puff hat.
Agreed. Or no,
Well,
Set yourself up for success.
Yeah,
is what I'm going to say.
yeah, there you go.
It's
not your thing, don't
That's
do
a
it, don't
corporate
show
way
it.
to say it.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
I I was in a shop fairly recently, and they were doing press or transfers, and they were talking about it be like still a little shiny. And I can't remember who I was with, but they suggested. Well, before I say this, do you guys have any suggestions? Like, I know that as much as we want transfers to be like the same as screen printing, sometimes it's not going to be. It still is a transfer. Do you have any recommendations for ways to make it look more authentic? I guess is the best way.
Yeah, so like use cover sheets, obviously. So you can change the finish of the transfer or the printed transfer, right? With cover sheets. So if you want a shiny feel, well, first of all, most of our Plastisol products have a matte finish, but you can change that. If you want a shiny finish, you can use a Teflon sheet. If you want to give it a granular texture, go to the fabric store. Go to like a Joann Fabrics or whatever. I don't know if that's a Chicago thing.
Joann's over.
Okay.
We have it. We have it. Yep.
And get like a linen, like a heavy linen, and press that as a top cover.
Or denim.
Yeah, denim.
Awesome.
Something heavy.
It's a good idea.
That lays that texture into the.
Just
Mostly,
you gotta rip
I
jeans
want
in
Jared
the
to
butt,
walk
just
in,
like cut them
and he'd
up
like-
and use that as a cover sheet.
I want Jared to-
I don't have my pants on at all.
You're Donald
Right,
Ducking.
Alyson at the heat press without pants.
We need some denim. Let me get undressed real fast.
I want her
Throw that
to
on
walk
there.
in. She'll be Donald Ducking, is what I call it, at the heat press.
You
like
lost
using
the
her
cover sheet,
jeans.
take off your pants.
On the app
Yeah,
instructions.
Howard Transfer told me to take my pants off.
Yes.
That's not an HR issue at
That
all.
is a Candy approved
Denim is the
message.
best.
Take your pants.
We're like, Jared, take your pants off. I didn't wear jeans today. I need a.
Sounds like an HR nightmare.
I know, that's what I just said.
Yeah,
I was
but
like,
you
that's
are
not
HR.
an Yeah.
You are HR.
I mean,
so take it to yourself. You
love
have,
that answer.
Myself up.
you have your own meeting in your own office.
I documented myself today. I am on my final written. If I don't get my shit together.
Who knows what happened? Sounds like a diary. No. It's your diary.
It's your diary.
Dear
I was written up
today.
Well, I will just say this. Sometimes it helps. I don't know if I can say it. Probably not, right?
yeah.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to say a tough one. Glitter transfers,
Yeah.
amazing.
Really?
Use the Teflon sheet
Okay.
because it's going to just make that glitter pop. So
Yeah, you want that to be
apply
shinier.
your glitter transfer, right? 350 for about 8, 10, 12 seconds depending on your press. Peel that, transfer sheet off the carrier. Hit it with the Teflon because it's going to add more of that sheen and shine that you want for that type of transfer. Anything else, silicone parchment paper, or linen or your pants.
Got it. That's good to know.
So, what is...
My pants.
Yeah. So I looked at you.
I have to come to your shop with my pants.
Yeah.
So
That was the eye contact.
we're living in a world right now where no one wants to answer their phones anymore. I'm guilty. I have a phone service for my shop. We have low body count in house. It helps us out. But at the end of the day, we still have someone answering the phone to at least be present. What is the Howard experience? Like, what is your customer service like?
Me. It's incredible.
She said
Just
me.
kidding.
Well, I think this is one of our
yes,
biggest.
it's 224.
Look at all the phones on the table. We have ours. Like they have like.
Yeah. I have my 2.
Candy has 2 phones.
I have 2 phones. Yeah. No, seriously. Thank you for bringing that up. You can literally call me or text me, send me a picture of your design, or hey, I'm having this issue, or I have this idea.
I've done that.
So yeah, and we're so accessible, which to some people it's not a great thing. I don't mind it as long as you don't call my personal cell phone at like 1 a.m. Text my work cell phone. Work cell is like Jody's.
She'll
like,
answer. She just won't be happy about it.
I mean, I'll probably be up. I'll probably be doing.
We're all kind of
work
night
or
owls,
something.
right?
Oh yeah, no, for
I'm
sure.
a sleepy time bear.
She's
My bedtime is 9:30 p.m.
She's
I
going to
love
bed.
that
Don't
for
call
you.
Alyson at 1 a.m. Just don't.
Call Alyson at 10 p.m.
Oh, all right, 9:30.
I made her stay up when I visited, just for the record.
Yeah.
It was Past my bedtime.
She's so cranky.
All right, but no, the Howard experience, and I love that question because that's something that transitioning into this role, I ask myself that, how am I going to, the biggest question we get is how do you differ from X and Y company or your competitors, right? And I always say we start with our customer service. Again, being so accessible, having people come to me directly or, our other awesome sales reps, like, you can come to me with a question, with a concern, with an idea. Like, I'm going to help you from day one. We have a lot of customers who are just getting started in the industry, right? Maybe they just bought their first manual. Maybe they're just like a one-woman or one-man operation, and, they just need help. They just don't know what garment is going to work with, this and that. We talk about inks. We talk about sizing. We talk about options. We talk about pricing. What's your profit margin? What's your budget? I had someone call me and, he was watching the Shirt Show podcast, and he was just like, I almost gave up on my shop. I'm a one-man operation. Like, I was just feeling so down because I hit, some hurdles. And I watched, some podcasts, and he was so inspired, right? And so he was like, this is my idea. And I was like, okay, what's your budget for this? After we had that conversation, he was just like, I am so amazed that this is even possible. And he felt rejuvenated and just so happy that a community is being built to have those conversations, because, it wasn't always like that. People didn't want to share secrets. People didn't want to share their experiences and their concerns. And, it was kind of like, I'm going to keep it to myself, And now that we're opening up this platform for everyone to just share and combine and grow a community, that's the same thing that Howard's doing. I have worked with someone who was a teenager, and we grew his business just using transfers. I mean, he has a spring catalog, a fall catalog. He's international now. He has a storefront.
That's so
Watched
awesome.
him from being 18 years old. Now he's 21. I mean, this kid's taken off. He's making a lot more money than I am. I love that for him. Yeah.
I just want to say that this is something that doesn't come with the DTF machine if you buy one. I think people are realizing now, maybe everyone used to be so apt, what else can I buy for my business? It's I don't want to buy a DTF machine. I don't want to learn how to use it. I don't want to deal with the ink. Printers suck. All printers. I don't care what printer it is. Every printer I've ever touched in my life has sucked.
Yeah, understanding a supplier.
No, I'm not touching any people printers. Okay, we're talking about the machine kind. Okay, we have a CTS machine and I love it, but it's still a printer. Okay,
Your HR violation. That's the last
This
strike.
printer doesn't suck.
I'm all right. I'm just saying that I don't know how to do anything with the DTF, but I can call you, have you handle all of that.
Yeah.
And not even just DTF, but any other, I don't want to print transfers in my house. I don't want to deal with the glue powder or glue adhesive. I don't know how to do it. I want to stay in my lane. I want to print on a t-shirt and I want you guys to do the transfers for me.
I think just in general, building strong supplier relationships, right? Because you do that with your other vendors. Doing that with transfers just makes sense. The same as you're going to do it with, whoever you're running your whatever machines you're running in your shop, whoever you're supplying your garments from. Establishing strong supplier relationships for your shop is important, and doing that with your transfer vendor is incredibly important too. And that starts with your rep. And we have an onboarding team that will spend an immense amount of time holding your hand through that first experience, and then you're handed off to one rep, and you have one rep, not several reps.
That's awesome.
You have one rep.
I like that.
Candy always holds my hand.
I know.
Yeah.
And that's
I'll hold all the hands.
yeah, that's incredibly important.
There's some exceptions. There's some exceptions.
We'll hold hands. We'll hold hands.
Yeah.
I also,
My girlfriend likes you, so she won't be upset.
Well, I love your girlfriend too. It's okay.
I know. Thank you.
I also really like that you guys have all of those things in house. It's not like I have to go to this company for digital transfers and this company for screen print transfers and this I like that it's all one. It's simplified our life instead of what kind of transfers, and it has simplified our education of our sales staff as well. That we're not okay, for this kind of art, you have to go to this one. And for this kind of stuff or this kind of sale, it's this one. And it's so much more streamlined for us.
Right.
That I can be like, okay, anything that's not on press is going to Howard.
Right.
It's been really nice.
I can't remember the exact numbers. Jody gave data on like how many variables are in screen printing.
Well, it's 500 and something last I heard.
Like insane.
500 and something.
I mean,
I'm not
I was
kidding.
like,
Kasparian.
Right.
I call him Casper.
When working with
He
transfers.
posted the other couple months ago, like 538 or something insane.
that it?
That's the exact post I saw, and I
Yeah.
I was trying to sell them on. I'm like, use this as a sales tool.
Yeah,
Like you have that
it's
many
true.
variables in screen printing,
Right.
and we have 3 variables: time, temperature,
I'm
pressure.
going to add one more to that. Just one more. Because it starts with your substrate. What are you printing on?
You're right.
Guides you to the right product.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're going to have options with Howard, right? Whether it's screen printed or, digitally printed.
Yeah.
You're going to have options. So I always add that fourth one because that's what I start with. Like, what are
That's
you
like
printing on?
That's like the pre-press variable.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right?
What are you
And
printing
there's
on?
a space for us to indicate that when we fill out the order form, right?
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
Yep. Or just like put in an email, send, call, whatever you need to do. Just like, hey, I'm using poly, or I want to do poly denim and fleece, and I want to do a tri-blend, and it's heathered, and this one is actually sublimated. So what do you have for me? And this is my design. This is how many I need. So as far as those variables, it's dwell time, your pressure, right? Your heat, like what temperature you're printing at, and then your substrate. So, I mean, transfers really simplify it, but again, it doesn't take away from contract screen printing. It's just adding to what you're already doing, helping you be your best.
Love that. So back to the topic of women. I know that Howard's not owned by women, but it's run by women.
I would say yes.
That's right.
I mean,
Yeah. So
There's definitely a
tell us a little about your lady staff.
Yeah, so like you said, Jeff Howard is the owner, but we have several women in positions of power. So
Hell yeah, they do.
I myself am. I think this is the perfect
hair
time for
flip.
a hair flip.
Everybody do the hair
I am the director of sales and marketing, and who else? We have, Rachel is our customer service.
Rachel Carr. Shout out to
Manager.
Rach.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
Tina does purchasing and logistics.
Fey?
Oh, you have Tina Fey.
It's not Tina Fey.
Howard's got money for Tina Fey.
Told you we were cool. Not that cool.
Oh my God, I would die.
really
if
loves
Tina
the
Fey at
culture.
office. I wouldn't get any work done. I would just be like chopping it up with her, laughing. I'd be cackling.
Accounting, Jess in accounting.
Hannah.
Yeah, Jess, Hannah.
Me.
Who am I missing?
I mean, let's just start with the fact that Jasmine shout out to
does
Jazz.
everything out in the shop.
Jazz rocking like the no hair, like bald look. Like she always loved it. She's rocking this awesome fade. Like she's awesome. Like she is running our. I don't know what to say.
No.
Okay.
She's running a cylinder press, but she runs auto and manual as well.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. No, she's awesome. She kind of broke that.
Shipping. She does QC. She does everything
Quality
out in the
control.
shop.
Yep. And she knows her stuff. And then just go back to Tina. Tina kind of like went around the company and she's like done shipping. She's done the purchasing. She's been with the company for so long. Like I am probably one of the newest.
That was going to be my
members.
next. It sounds like
Yeah.
I feel like the culture being important to you is evidenced by the duration of your employees.
Yeah,
Like,
there's very
their
low
tenure.
turnover, extremely low turnover. We haven't done it in a while, but we used to do these team photos, and I would love watching them because first they would get like bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, but then you would also notice that they were the exact same faces in every single photo. Like there were like no faces would be removed ever. It was just faces being added to it, which it speaks volume to
That's awesome.
the culture.
Absolutely.
No one ever leaves.
Yeah.
So you can.
They're
I mean,
married.
no, seriously,
They're
everyone's-
married to Howard Transfer. If they want to get a
Seriously.
divorce, it's going to cost a minimum of $10,000.
Yeah.
Go to
Yeah.
mediation.
You do sign it
But
with blood.
they also need to get beaten out, right?
Exactly.
So it's just like screen
Jumped
printing.
out.
You can't
I'm
like
like a
Jumped
true
out.
mafia member.
You have to say jumped out. You can't say beaten.
Yep, no.
Legally.
It's a different kind of gang over here.
Allegedly.
Yeah, I mean,
Allegedly.
we do greet each other. We're like gang, you know. That's how we greet each other. No, but everyone is either family, like blood related, or you know they've coached together. They were coached by someone, or it's a best friend that is doing the screen printing or is in the shop. Like everyone is so interconnected, and then you have your awesome outsiders. Me, who just like. Yeah, I'm like shouting myself
I was like,
out.
who are you waving to?
I like moved back into town and I was just like, this is awesome. I'm here. Like I haven't worked in the industry, but I know this and that, and customer service is what I do. So let's do it. And I'm like, yeah, this is home. I literally
awesome.
told that to Kyle Rody, who's like operations manager. I was like, this is home for me. So like, I'm here. You're stuck with me.
I think that's one of the best feelings as a business owner is when your staff like actually tells you that they're comfortable and that they feel like that's home for them. I have a couple of employees that like they kind of feel the same way with us, and I think as a business owner it's like one of the best things that you can hear. We don't always have the best days as business owners, and sometimes when you hear something like that it makes you feel like you're doing something right.
Yep.
I think that something in the industry that is consistent in most of the shops I visited is that a lot of us are just winging it in business.
Be surprised by how many
Just
people
winging
are
it.
winning it.
And just trying things and see what works and what doesn't work. And we try to fuck around.
So fuck around and find out.
We try not to find out.
I mean, just a little.
So, we make investments and we do something and it doesn't work and we have to backtrack and figure it out. And I noticed something on your Instagram about closing down a facility and moving it to Chicago. Moving everything, is that you want to keep everything in-house? Is it going to be easier to manage and get things done?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, like we're insanely excited about it actually, just to be able to consolidate everything into one building and have everything more easily managed by one team.
Yeah.
Not that it wasn't one team, right? We were all
No, but
we were all Howard
we
Custom
we get
Transfers,
it.
but
Yep.
a lot of lessons learned over the last 2.5 years, but probably the biggest lesson is that it's extremely difficult to manage teams
From a
in
distance.
different states. But it wasn't impossible. We did what we could.
It's just a pain in the ass.
That's hard. I can't imagine doing it. Like if you asked me to take my shop and open another shop like in several states away and manage both teams, I wouldn't want to do it.
Listen,
just makes everything
our print
harder.
shop is a separate building from our shop. It's like 4 buildings away, and that's hard enough.
Well, you
I
said
can't imagine.
efficiency and being lean. Like
Yeah.
that's where the future is. So it only makes sense for us right now to get everything under one roof. We had a lot of construction over the last week and a half that wasn't amazing, but we made a lot of space in our building that I didn't even realize could be made. We got rid of our gym that we had, which is kind of teardrop.
Is Marcus like super sad about the gym
so
loss?
sad. The
Yeah,
boys
but you
are
have-
all
you have
like,
manual
Fries on
presses,
lunch
right?
every day.
yeah.
You have manual presses. It's the same thing.
Yeah, but when I
Just
visited,
get some weighted squeegees.
So you want me to go tell Marcus Howard to go do
so
some?
when I visited,
Marcus is
though,
getting out of the office and going into the shop. Make
when
an
I
official
visited,
announcement.
Marcus like made it a point to show me their gym, and he was like, "I
yeah.
come in here like every
He was
single
so
day."
proud of it. I mean,
You know what
him
you
and
need to
his
do?
dad,
Put
they're
them on the
also proud of it. I
manual.
love it.
Get some like
yeah.
weighted squeegees and like one of those treadmills from Amazon that's just flat for like under the desk, and just all right, buddy, here you go.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm just gonna put his ab roller in his office.
On this, you could just get a pair of Skechers shape-ups.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
I'll give him some.
Some rollerblades. If you have more
I was gonna
space now, you
say
can do some
like,
rollerblading.
Heelys or whatever, and then just like skate around. Yeah.
Maybe some of those like Velcro like weights that you put around your
There you go. When you
Well,
pick up
could
the
do that.
phone,
You could do
when you
that
pick
and then
up the
pull a
phone,
squeegee
it's
with like weights.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look at us.
There's ways to
We're
get
so
it,
innovative.
I was just telling
We're
him the other
coming up
day,
with
like
ways
go
to
to
work
the
out.
door. He can hang something on his door and just do some pull-ups there.
Yeah, the pull-up bar.
It's a whole
Yeah.
workout.
Maybe I'll gift that to him. I'll Amazon
I
that
need
to
to
him.
figure out when his
He's gonna
birthday
love
is.
you for that.
I'm gonna do that.
Do it.
Don't tell him,
I won't.
and I'll do it before this comes out.
Have you done the chat for John?
Not yet.
Oh god.
Oh my
Not
god.
yet.
Okay.
If you ever want to troll Howard Transfer,
Yes.
you can actually
do
go
it.
to their website and they have a little chat option. Just go on there and ask for Chat Daddy.
Chat
On Friday at 4:25.
Yes.
Perfect. Noted.
Yeah. Ask for Chat
Central
Daddy.
time.
Something I do know about Howard that you guys don't generally advertise is, I know, some of the good deeds and shit that you do. Do you want to tell us about the good deeds and shit that you do?
Yeah, you
Mostly, I know you don't like to talk about it, and I get I think good people say that, but I also do think that there's a space to share because I think it inspires other people and motivates them to do good things too. So,
Yeah, we don't. We don't really ever discuss any of that stuff.
Not
and I think-
publicly.
no, we don't.
not even inside. Rule number 1:
You
don't
asked.
talk
honestly-
don't talk about philanthropy at Howard.
That's a yes though, because sometimes
We don't. Candy
private.
didn't.
It's
Candy
very
didn't
private.
know any
No,
of this.
absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know some of that.
So over the years, you asked, what do we do philanthropically, and the true answer is that when our customers have times of need, we just genuinely help them, human to human. So we've had several customers who have the tornadoes have hit, or their shop floods or whatever it is, and they can't fulfill an order. We'll just let us handle it. Let us print it for you. We'll ship the finished goods, get it done. If it's for a fundraiser, if it's for whatever. So we do that all the time, and I think it helps us facilitate for communities all across America instead of just giving back to our own community over and over again, which is unique, something that not everyone can do. If you have just one shop in one community, that's awesome that you're giving back to your community, right? But if you can give back to communities all across America, that's awesome too.
Yeah, it's nice that you have that reach. Speaking of customers and helping them out, someone on Instagram submitted a question for me to ask, and it was what was the biggest, what was your favorite order or the biggest jam you helped someone out of?
Oh, I love that question. Jody, if you want to start, let me think about it. I have so many. I do.
Oh my gosh, what's my favorite order we've ever done?
Or a time when you helped someone out of a jam.
Yeah.
Specifically, Candy helped me out of a jam
Out of a
3 weeks
jam.
ago, so you don't want to hear that.
I wish I would have thought about this.
All right, well, I'll kick it off.
We can come back to it. Do you want to
I'm not
circle
going to
back?
say names because
okay.
I do respect everyone's privacy, and I don't like to talk down on any, I wouldn't say competitors, but other companies that do what we do. I will say, often get people reaching out saying, I ordered this, it's not working out. Whether it's for X and Y reason, they're in a pickle, their due date is in 2 days. They're panicking. It's a top customer for them, whether it's low volume or high volume, whatever it is. They don't want to lose that customer, right? You don't want to lose your 10 plus year loyal customer. That's who helped build your company. So they'll reach out and say, oh my God, I don't know what to do. I've had people call me crying, not just women, and just full panic mode. My favorite thing to do is say, yes, we could do it. In that moment, I'm not 100% here's my plan, ABC, but I know my team. I know their skill. I know we're fast. I know we're efficient. I know we have a reliable product, and I know I'm good at what I do. So I'm going to talk them down off the ledge. Listen, I know what you mean. Either return that product or throw it away, whatever you want to do. Yeah. Take a deep breath. Send me this. Let's set it up. We're good to go. And then you just hear that relief, and that brings me the biggest joy. Building a brand and helping someone out of a pickle, this terrible situation where you're this is my make or break business moment. I'm going to lose my top customer or not. And for me to help you not lose that customer, that's my biggest pride and joy right there. And I only am able to do it because
that Candy is perfectly placed in the strategic sales role.
No, but honestly, that's my favorite part, and that only came through what Howard's able to do. You know, I came into their operation already successful. Like they're good. They don't really need me, right? They're doing.
Need you.
Yeah. They're doing.
Like, nope, they need you.
Yes, they do. No, but seriously, like they're great, right? And that's why I'm here. I'm home because I see the value of everything. And so yeah, just
Candy
helping people
literally
out.
saved our ass like 3 weeks ago. An order fell through the cracks. Chrissy was freaking out. She called Candy. Candy had it done and shipped in the same day.
Yeah, and I'm
Because
sure she got
Candy's
delivery
amazing.
today too.
Candy does that all the time. She's like a Slack princess over here, just like pushing things through. She's like, I need this one to go now.
On the fly.
Please and thank
yeah, no,
you.
he's
Always please. With like a cute little emoji.
Yeah,
That's what
I
it
think-
matters, though. You know, there's a difference between the customer that always waits till last minute and the people that have true emergencies.
Exactly.
And rushes are hard to work in for any business, but when you have someone that has like a true emergency, it's like there's nothing in a normal person that doesn't want to help.
So Ryan had one a couple weeks ago. I think it was like 3 weeks ago. I don't know if you remember this one. That it was a new. I think it was a first-time customer.
Oh,
this
this is
person
my
had never
favorite.
ordered. We had met them at a trade show. He had reached out a couple times, and she had never placed an order. So it was her first order, and it's the same thing as someone else had effed up an order, and so she called him and she said, "Can I get?" So it was a full color image. Can you get it done like tomorrow? He was like, I can't. I'm sorry. But he goes, wait a second.
So I'm nosy, and I overheard this conversation, and he was like, "Yeah, I mean, this is a crazy request." And you know, I love John. He's like amazing what he does, but John is fairly new, and so I'm just like, "Wait, call her. We're gonna do it." And again, I didn't have an exact plan, but I was like, "This is the product that we could do today. This is what she needs. Have her send it."
Again, and then
Tell Ryan, yes.
it was vinyl print and cut. So we talked about this one earlier.
Yep.
Not everyone loves it.
This
Not
guy
everyone's going to
here.
love it. But it's going to solve problems. And if you have a really big problem and it solves that problem, take the order.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I really love when people find a role that they can excel in, and I think that you've placed Candy in a good spot.
Thank you.
I also love that Howard is set up in a way that you are efficient enough that you're ahead of the game on orders, so that if something does come up, you're not delaying other orders for their ship date because they're done. They're going to be done early anyways. So you have that play, and I love that. We try to work that into our shop as well. It doesn't always work, but it's nice that you guys are that efficient, that you have the flexibility to sneak something in if you're trying to help a customer.
We weren't really aware that we were that good at shipping things on time. Like, we just thought that was normal. Like, we thought it was normal to actually.
Your order was going to be done on February 2nd, and it actually
And then actually
is done.
ships.
We thought that was what people just did.
Did you see my face when
I
I
feel
found
the
out?
same about my shop, actually. I know what you're talking about.
And then we started coming to shows last year, and we would tell people, like, yeah, you know, it's shipping in, this product ships in 2 days. And they're like, no, really. No, really,
The question
2
was like,
days.
okay, but when am I going to get it? Well, if you're 2 days away and I ship it tomorrow, so that's 3 days, so you'll get it in 3 days. And they're just like, so not in 10 days? Why 10?
we're
Did it get
confused.
lost in UPS? Because I'll replace it and I'll ship it next day air, and you don't have to worry about that. And that's the thing, like Howard, like whether it's a UPS mistake or any other carrier, or, you know, if there's any kind of damage, like literally anything that happens, Howard fixes it and we ship it next day air. So again, just creating that like solution, like you're gonna have your deadline, like you're gonna have your deadline met. But yeah, that's something that I didn't know. It's like, what? You didn't get it in 2 days?
And we do always leave space in our production for errors, right? Because the errors happen. So we're not just going to like fill production 100% and say, oh yeah, like nothing's going to go wrong. Things are going to go wrong.
Same.
So Howard
Yeah.
became popular though for same day, right?
What's that?
For same day transfers. Like that's how you guys made your initial mark.
We
right?
started same day, like, oh God, what year was that? I don't know, 2012 maybe. We came up with same day. And then COVID ruined it because COVID was
Cool.
a total...
No way. COVID ruined something?
Yeah. Okay,
Never heard that one.
So weird.
Yeah, COVID ruined it. And COVID, we were at like a 6-day... I don't know. It
Yeah,
was
it's fine.
just...
You were with the rest of us.
Yeah. And then we finally got to a space where we thought we could get back to same day. And we were like, okay, let's do it. Let's just commit to it again. And that was, like a year ago, maybe? 6 months ago?
I mean, realistically, or like in our minds, because like it was not that long ago that we brought it back.
Yeah.
You know,
Maybe 6 months ago?
yeah, I would say more
so,
like 6
yeah.
months. Yeah. But it just feels like natural to just be like, oh, you need the 200 sheets to ship today? Yeah, I could do it. I mean, before it was like single color, multicolor. You know, as long as you send it in before noon, like it was shipping that same day. So our workflow is insane. It's efficient, you know. So we'll get back to
obviously.
that. Especially like bring everything in house. Like I'm ecstatic for it, and like Jody and I are both control freaks, kind of a little bit. Jody hair flip. So no, yeah, and you know now we're able to kind of bring it all in, and hopefully decrease that turnaround time and implement more of that same day. Yeah.
So, is there anything that you would like to specifically tell anyone about Howard Transfer that we didn't cover?
It's okay if you don't. We probably did a very thorough job.
I think you guys did amazing at
We're the
kind of
Mafia.
hitting
I
all
wasn't
the...
looking. I was a joke. I was not fishing.
I mean,
I'll take the compliments.
just repeating that, like, transfers aren't going to replace what you guys are doing, you know? And I hear that a lot. And like how you started it saying, like, some people are just flat out like, transfers has no place in my business. That's totally fine. But listen, let me tell you, if you find yourself in a pickle, in a situation where you're like, I need this order to happen.
Right.
Like, you have someone you can trust who's experienced, who understands what your goal is as a company. Like, there's
We'll be there to support you.
Exactly.
Like, think about if you had a high-pressure job to print on press and you've never done it before and you don't have support doing it by yourself. But if you were to order that in transfers, and not only is it coming from someone who knows what they're doing, but also you have support when applying them to the garments.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, is this the Candy Hype Hour?
Oh my God.
Get it, girl?
Oh my
It
gosh.
is. We'll
Is this
change,
the Candy
we'll
hair
change
flip
the
moment?
intro.
Candy Hype Hour. Yeah. Cool. So, do you guys have any
Appreciate
questions for us?
What's next? And
Why she ask us
how
that?
can? Well, only because
Like she
again,
does-
I'm
like
just
she-
so
like I
excited.
plan
Like,
anything.
Year one, right? Like you guys are officially like this is your first year, right?
Okay.
I just you don't have to answer this now, but I am just excited to know where else you guys are gonna get it. Like what else you're gonna get involved with I should say, and how other women are going to get involved with, and how like this community is going to grow. Like that's what I'm just excited to see. I'm
So
a spectator in the back. Like I'm rooting for you guys, and I'm just waiting for the next thing.
The answer is
very
nothing.
patiently.
We're not doing
I'll let you look. I'll let you take forward
very
thinking.
patiently waiting.
Okay.
I'll let you take forward thinking. But last year, as a group, we wanted it to be natural, organic. We never planned for Print Girl Mafia to become a movement. We are so happy that it became something that can be of support to people. But we wanted it to evolve naturally. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't want it to be a thing that we forced or that we took money from vendors just to take their money. Mm-hmm. We wanted it to be something that naturally evolved, that people felt confident. Like, if we're just walking around this trade show, we wanted people to feel like they could just walk up to us and be like, hey, I want to talk to you about XYZ, or hey, I saw you guys doing this. I really want to talk about that. That's the vibe that we wanted, so that's what we tried to create. We had a lot of people try to push on us and say, what are you doing right now? What's next? What's this? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on in my shop tomorrow. Like, life is like that sometimes, and I don't think we should force anything.
Right.
Coming into this year, though, we finally were able to like pull the podcast together to kind of start some stuff like this, and we have some other forward-thinking things that I think Christina could tell you about coming up in the coming year. She's like, no.
She's like, damn it, Candy.
She's like, I'm not telling you, it's mafia related.
I just might have had too much fun last night, so I'm a little sleepy. So I can tell you that our next recording is going to be Graphics Pro in Charlotte at the end of April. So if anyone's around, come hang out with us. We are working on some safety things. Safety obviously is a big thing for me. I know you know, but grabbed in a parking lot in college. Was also sexually assaulted my freshman year and grabbed parking lot my senior year. I did beat the shit out of him, but so I think that before PGM, safety wasn't really something that anyone considered. Actually, I was at water-based camp at Made Lab last summer, and a guy came up to me and he was like, it never even crossed my mind. Like, I have 2 women and like I've changed what I do. Like when we close, I make sure someone walks them to their car. Like I make sure that,
Right.
that they are safe now. I didn't ever think about it. He offered to send them to like self-defense classes. And I mean, obviously it's unfortunate that that's a thing, but he like personally thanked me. And then one of his girls reached out to me on Instagram, was like, thanks for doing that. Like, it wasn't something that we felt comfortable even asking for. We are obviously doing podcasts. We are working with some vendors at trade shows. So we thought about maybe having a booth, which Unite Together has given us that opportunity at some of the shows. But I don't think that that's as powerful for us as wandering around and meeting people and hanging out in booths. So we are going to start working with some vendors to spend time in their booths at trade shows. So perhaps if a gal isn't comfortable going into that booth because they're full of salesmen, it would give them I'm just kidding. We love the salesmen too, but like most of them, I think now. But it gives women a higher comfort level, I think, to walk into a booth that they might otherwise feel intimidated to do so. We talked about like a PGM meetup separate from trade shows, so there's not the pressure of like having to see things and do things and whatever. More of like a networking kind of event. I don't know. What else are we working on? You can't think.
We're doing our podcast live from
your
trade
merch.
shows for the rest of the year. What?
You have your merch.
We do. We have merchandise for sale.
One of my favorite T-shirts. It's in my
Girl
suitcase
Mafia's
right now.
Instagram will take you
That's
straight
6.
to that.
Yeah, I love
with
it.
varying levels of crops.
We have some new merch coming.
You have some new merch coming.
We have 2 new T-shirts
That one
coming.
shrunk a little bit.
Okay.
And we have this amazing lanyard right here.
I need.
That we
that
bring
was
to all-
donated
I
by
love
Graphics.
that.
We bring to the trade shows.
This will be going up onto the web store soon. So we've got some new stuff going up
The
soon.
pins, yes. I have got the pins.
Yeah, Carly
I
from
love it.
Graphic Source designed this.
She did, man. Carly kicked ass on
Yeah,
that.
it's really cool.
I love Carly.
Yeah.
Shout out to
That
Carly.
way we have our own lanyards for trade shows.
Yeah.
Carly also, I got to give Carly a shout out.
I don't have
We had
one.
some issues setting up the camera when we first started this one today.
You called
And
her?
literally, I called her and she answered in 2.5 seconds and told me exactly what to do.
Yes.
So thanks, Carly.
Hey. Love her.
If you guys don't have any questions for us or anything, I think we're good to go.
No more heavy questions for you right now.
No further questions.
further
Except,
questions?
what are we doing tonight?
Tonight, that's a secret.
Oh, I love
Jimmy Buffett's
it.
Margaritaville.
Yes. You know we have a date going.
I have a blender and I get half off margs now.
Say, do you get not a real blender, guys? It's like a cup that looks like the.
does not do any real blender.
I know, I tried last night, but it looks like a blender. But I was gonna ask, so you get discount.
I do recommend that if you go to Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville with me, that you bring your own straw. Because they do give you paper straws and they don't work for.
Is
they
that
don't
a
work for any
statewide-
beverages? But they definitely don't work for frozen margaritas.
That might be a statewide thing.
Margaritaville, we're calling you out.
Definitely
I
like
think
Ocean
plastics are
Beach
banned.
side.
Other straw alternatives that are not made out of paper.
Yeah.
Maybe there's someone at the show that we can get one
CVS,
from.
get
Like a
some
promo
steel
place.
ones.
Yeah.
Oh, promo. Yeah. Promo straw place.
That's what you guys should hand out next year.
Straws.
Straws. Yeah.
Yeah, like in New Jersey,
Yeah.
Atlantic City, if it's all paper straws, you should be like, hey, here's a reusable straw. Well, if that's it, then thank you to Howard, to you gals.
Thank you guys.
Candy and Jody. Like I mentioned, the next recording and hangout will be Charlotte, Graphics Pro, and some end of April. In the meantime, where can they find you guys? At the bar.
Yeah, at the bar.
They can find you in the club.
You can.
Bottle full of bub.
Hey,
It'll be a Margaritaville.
we have had some
We'll see
dance
y'all there.
nights.
That will 100% be going on the Spotify at 5 p.m.
Oh yeah.
Bottle full of bub.
It's happening.
www.howardct.com.
Okay. Instagram.
Oh yeah, I think it's.
Howard underscore
I just
custom.
go to it every day. I'm fairly certain it's at Howard underscore
Custom.
Oh yeah, I think you're right.
Yep.
Facebook.
Yeah. /
Search
Howard Custom.
Transfers.
But then, to elaborate a little bit more, you guys also have your own personal Instagram Howard accounts, right?
I do.
So I can follow Candy on Howard.
You can. No, seriously.
I can stalk Candy.
You can DM me and.
We can DM you. We can slide into your DMs.
Slide into Candy's DMs.
Slip and slide right in.
Yeah, so mine is Jody Mazade, MAZADE _HCT.
Awesome.
We'll link
I
them
kinda
all.
did-
We'll put them in the YouTube. We'll
yeah,
link them all.
because mine is like ridiculous to spell
Yeah,
out. my
I know.
last
That's
name.
why. I
got you.
remember.
Yeah.
That's right. We'll link
Candy
it.
_Pedia _
Padilla.
Yeah, I didn't know what
got
to
you.
do with
Padilla.
it. I was just like, it's Padilla. Oh, you guys don't even want to know what everyone else calls
Yeah,
me.
no.
Can I say it?
What is it?
You might have to edit this out.
You can edit this out. In high school, everyone called me Padildo.
That is not getting edited out.
No, that is in there for
Wait.
life.
Does it make you feel better that in 5th grade I was Christina Wiener?
I feel like we're kindred spirits even more now.
Yeah.
Like,
It
just
came back
bonded.
in 9th grade. My history teacher had like a Boston accent, so he said Christina. So obviously Christina Wiener came back too.
Christina Wiener, Candy
Wiener.
Padildo, just duo team over here, kicking ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can find us. I mean, if you're watching this video, you already found us probably.
You already
but-
love us if you're watching it.
But
Hopefully.
tell, especially if
And
you
you
made
just
it
fell
this
in love
far.
with Howard, so
If you made it this far into the video, you must really love us. At Print Girl Mafia on Instagram, Print Girl Mafia on Facebook, but that's for girls only. Our web store is linked on our Instagram.
It is.
It's like
If
a
you-
Shopify. So
Yep. If you go to the Instagram account, you can find our web store. You can also find
link tree.
any of our sponsors. It's a link tree. You can find any of the past YouTubes, any articles that any of us have written, or any interviews that any of us have been in. So
yeah, it's a one-stop shop. Okay, thanks for tuning in. We'll see y'all next time.
bye guys.
thanks, guys.